Just a rebel with a lightsaber dream. Lost my hand, lost my friend, lost my self-esteem.
Hello there, and welcome to Tales from Peridia. Today we are joined by a very special guest, and I have to do a special thank you to Wrath of Mandalore for getting me in contact with this awesome voice actor. If you guys don't know who this man is, it is Mark Thompson. If you don't know him, yes you do, because we've talked about him multiple times on the channel. And not only has he voiced Star Wars work, but he's also done a couple of Pokemon, I do believe. I'm not very well versed in the Pokemon world, so if you want to talk about that before we get into our wonderful questions, go for it.
Oh yeah, well thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I do a bunch of Pokemon. I do like Topic and Geodude, Geo and Gengar. Gengar is probably the most popular one. So yeah, but I've done like close to 70 or 80, I think. I haven't really counted, but I kind of have become a utility guy over there and do a lot of the creatures and stuff. So it's
Dude, heck yeah. All right. Well, typically, I always love to hear these stories from any of the guests that we've had on here. First question I'll ask is, what got you into Star Wars?
Oh man. Well, it's one of those things where I was kind of born in the sweet spot. I was born in 75. So I was too young to see New Hope in theaters, but I grew up with it on TV or VHS. And then every movie after that, I've been in the theater and had the toys and the bed sheets and the costumes. And so it's hard for me to nail down a specific moment. It's just, I feel like I grew up with it and it's always been there. And, um, just loved it all ever since I can. Some of my earliest memories are kind of playing with Star Wars figures or watching the films, and so it goes too far back for me to pinpoint it to the actual origin point. So
I love answers like that because to me, it just means that there was never a point where Star Wars wasn't involved in your life.
yeah.
And I'm very jealous of people like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Did you have a specific start?
Yes, I remember it like it was yesterday. I've told this story a million times on my channel, but I was like 4 years old. It was 2004,
Oh,
and
nice.
I was visiting my grandparents, and I went to go do what every young child does to go bother their grandfather.
Yeah.
And instead of bothering him, I was greeted on his magnificent TV of a giant robot fighting an old man,
Oh,
and I
that's
was
so
like,
cool.
"What is this?"
Oh, that's
And
great.
I will never forget. It was the exact moment when Vader says, "When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master." I was like,
Ah,
"Okay, Grandpa, you got to fill me in here.
yeah,
What's going
yeah.
on?"
That's so cool.
He showed me the original trilogy and then up to Attack of the Clones because obviously Revenge of the Sith hadn't been out yet, and it's been a rocky relationship, especially after some newer projects. But overall, the love is still there, and
Yeah,
I keep coming back.
that's awesome. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, I love Star Wars. Like without Star Wars, I wouldn't be interviewing you. I've interviewed Roger Christian,
Oh, neat.
multiple. You've talked with a couple of my buddies multiple times. Jungle Jedi, Wrath of Mandalore, Star Wars Gazer, like
Yeah.
all those guys. Like without this beautiful franchise, none of this would be possible.
Right, right, yeah.
God, I just love Star Wars. Well, since I mainly know you for your audiobooks and your voice work, which I gotta say, the first time I ever listened to Heir to the Empire, I legit thought that they got like Billy D. Williams to come in and voice like I thought they had multiple people.
Oh,
I
that's
didn't
cool.
realize that it was like just you doing the voices. And I was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. But who is your favorite character to voice in the ones that you've already done?
Uh, I guess for pure nostalgia reasons, like Yoda, just he's my all-time favorite character. So anytime I get to go do or do not, it's just like woo, so I love doing him. Luke being a close second, just because again, just growing up with them and just looking up to them, it feels extra special when I get to kind of play with those action figures. So
Oh man, I gotta say, my personal favorite of the voices that you've done. I've been listening to the Deceived novel like
oh
on repeat because I am a massive Old Republic fan.
oh
Like
cool, yeah.
I wish that they would bring it into live action so
Yeah,
bad.
that would be great. That'd be very cool.
But the first time I listened to Deceived, I was like, okay, I could get behind this. And then I realized that it was you who read the book. I was like, this just instantly like made it 10 times better. Like, did you voice Mal? Like, did you do Malgus's voice for the like the SWOTOR trailers?
No, but I was
No.
trying to emulate it. Like
Mhm.
I definitely was like trying to get it because I think I wanted was that Ian McShane or was that something?
I'm not 100%
Okay.
sure. I just heard your voice and like I just reacted to all the trailers over the course of like the last month.
Yeah.
And every time I heard Malgus talking, I was just like, "That's Mark Thompson."
Oh.
Now I realize, nope, just the book, but
Yeah, just the book, yeah.
you did a fantastic job. I mean,
Oh,
it is
thank
like
you.
one to one with those trailers. So,
Oh, yeah, those trailers were amazing. I never played those games, which I know is blasphemy, but, those trailers were, like, before we got movies, and I was like, "These are awesome, like, this is so cool." So,
Yeah, if you get the chance, you should definitely hop on the Old Republic MMO. I've been playing it in like every ounce of my free time. Cannot get enough of it. I wish I didn't have to do other responsibilities and I could just
yeah.
play that game. Speaking of you doing a bunch of voice work and all that, what exactly got you into voice acting? Like when did you realize like that's what you wanted to do?
I was a sophomore in college. And I was studying acting at the time, and there was an audition for a cartoon at MTV, and it was like about vampires or something. And this is like pre-internet, so it was like on a cork board, and it just said like call this phone number and leave us a character voice. So I was just like, "Hello, I'd like to be in your cartoon." And I was just doing like an Igor thing, and that was enough to get me in the door, and so I auditioned for it. That one didn't go into production, but then they said, "Hey, we got something else we wanna do called Daria," and so I auditioned for that, and I got some roles on that, and then it was kind of off to the races. Like, I basically, I got that one, and then maybe a couple years later, I auditioned for Pokemon and got that, and then that led to Yu-Gi-Oh! And Ultimate Muscle and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and um, all these different shows I've gotten to work on. So I wasn't like setting out to do voice acting specifically, but I kind of fell into it and am very grateful for that because it's allowed for some longevity that maybe on camera acting wouldn't, or sometimes you get typecast just on how you look, and with voice acting, I can play lots of different roles and lots of different characters, and I don't get typecast per se because there's you can play young, old, alien, human, all kinds of ranges. So it's been fun. I've really been grateful for that. So
That oh man. Just to think that it all started from just calling a random
yeah,
phone
yeah,
number.
I know.
Also, did not realize that you were a part of Daria. Like my buddy
Yeah.
showed me that show a couple of years ago. I haven't watched it since, but now
Oh, no way.
it's given me a new reason to go back and rewatch
Yeah, I was
it.
the football player and the teacher with the big eye and Mr. O'Neill, the values teacher. So
Oh shoot.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Heck yeah. So let's see. I guess we'll go back to Star Wars real quick. You kind of already answered it. You said Yoda was your favorite character. If you didn't have Yoda, who would be your second favorite?
Ooh. Maybe like it'd probably be Luke. But I'm hemming and hawing over like maybe Obi-Wan as well. Like I'm a big Obi-Wan Kenobi fan. I just love that he is, you know, desperately trying to hold on to his hope and kind of stay true to the will of the Force um and just his, you know, watching him in New Hope, but then also getting to see him with Ewan McGregor and then throughout the Clone Wars stuff, it was just really, really epic. So he would probably be a close second. I kind of dress up as him sometimes, so that's pretty fun. But Luke, I mean, you know, how can I not love Luke? It's just it's the hero's journey, and that's, you know, the original trilogy is just, you know, the most special in my heart. So it's hard not to want to be Luke Skywalker. So
Yeah, I remember growing up. I liked the prequels, but I was not a fan of Anakin
oh
like
yeah,
a
okay,
lot. So I was always like, I love the prequels, but Luke is by far the superior character.
right.
Then as I've gotten older and just life happening, I'm like, maybe I was wrong as a child, and Anakin is actually. I can't pick honestly. Just
Yeah,
the two Skywalker boys is just pretty much my childhood icons.
right.
So this one isn't on the list, but it's also not anything that's gonna break any NDAs or anything like that. What is your favorite piece of Star Wars media?
Oh wow. Ugh. Okay, well, I guess my truest answer is Empire Strikes Back. Um, but it's a like I there's so much of it that I love. like like Star Wars Rebels is pretty amazing in terms of getting to know that found family and Ezra and Kanan's journey. Like I can't watch the Jedi Knight episode without crying. And so that one's pretty special. And then obviously I love the books. So I don't know. Gosh, that's hard. But my most gut level answer is probably Empire Strikes Back. So
Yeah, I can't disagree with you there. I've always said like anytime it gets brought up of like what is the best like Star Wars or just best media in general, I'm always like, well, there's two answers. You got Revenge of the Sith, which is the best Star Wars movie, but
mm.
then there's Empire, which is just the best movie ever made.
Oh, that's
Period.
interesting. I
Like
like that.
there's just there's something about Empire, man. Like I
Yeah.
can never get bored of watching it. Like,
Yeah.
even when I was a kid, that movie was just constantly on repeat. Like,
Yeah.
sure, I was fast forwarding through all the boring stuff to a
Right.
like 8-year-old and getting to the Bespin fight, but I mean, come on, bro, it's the Bespin fight. You get to find out Vader's Luke's father,
Yeah.
and I'll never forget the pure shock when I found that out. That was,
Yeah.
yeah, and like what you said about Rebels, Jedi Knight, that episode is just that's a real tearjerker. I
Yeah.
mean, I didn't really grow up watching the cartoons or anything. I was the weird 8-year-old that was like, Anakin doesn't have a Padawan. I'm not watching this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But it was clips of Kanan sacrificing himself for everybody. That I was like, okay, why am I getting emotional for this? Now I got to
Oh,
go back and watch it. And
it's so good.
it,
Yeah.
it's not my favorite thing that they've put out, but
Yeah.
it is when it hits. Rebels absolutely knows how to get some
Yeah.
tears flowing. It's crazy.
Yeah, I just like there's something about that one because like I love the humor and banter between the crew. The Force mythology is so deep and so cool, and then you know that sacrifice is just amazing to me. But like I to me that one, I like that even more than the Clone Wars cartoon. Like I love it. I love everything, but like Rebels is really amazing, which is making me love Ahsoka because it's like it feels like just the continuation of Rebels, and so that's probably my favorite of the live actions with of the TV shows with Mando being tied for that because I love Mandalorian. I love it all. I'm just gonna spend it all.
Hey, I can't blame you. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of a lot of the newer stuff, but I'm able to go through and be like, I really like this. I really like that. I mean, like, I've it's very well known on my channel. Like, I'm not the biggest sequel fan. Like,
Okay.
I love episode 7, but then like when it gets to like the end fight, I'm like, I know where this goes. This sucks. But,
Uh-huh.
like, I kind of forced myself to rewatch them in a different with, like, a different view and try to find things that I actually liked about them. And there
Yeah.
was quite a bit that I
No,
was
it's great.
like,
Yeah.
This is actually I really like this. I
Yeah.
really like this idea. I wish they would have executed it a lot better, but
Yeah. Well, it's one of the, I found doing I got to do the novelizations of the sequel films. Reading those books, they fill in a lot of the gaps that maybe were missing from the film, and they definitely help me appreciate those films on a deeper level. And I also think too, like, just like I feel like Star Wars in general is like the more you watch it, the more you'll appreciate it because it's like, um, I think sometimes like they're deliberately fast-paced films, because they I don't know, like like what, but when you rewatch them, you notice lines that you didn't notice before, and then you fill in the gaps with stuff, and then the comics and the books tend to fill in things, and then you watch them with that in there as well, and so I think you start to appreciate things more and more as you on repeated viewings.
yeah. I love that the books, like, fill in those gaps. It's just unfortunately, like, nowadays, it feels like you have to read
Yeah,
every single comic, every single book to
right.
kind of get an understanding of, okay, well, what happened here? Why are we
Yeah,
doing this? But at the same time, like, ever since the inception, Star Wars has just kind of thrown you into the middle of
right.
everything. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
New Hope just starts out with a little tiny ship getting
totally.
attacked by a bigger ship. Like,
Yeah,
what's
yeah, yeah.
going on here?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, like I'm very now that I know that you did the sequel novelizations, those might be next up on my listening
Yeah,
list.
they're pretty fun, yeah.
I just listened to Shadows of the Sith not too long ago,
Oh,
and
okay.
that is a very good like, hey, let's fill in the gaps and let's make episode 8 and 9 kind of make a lot more sense.
Yeah, yeah.
But, yeah, I kinda wish you had done that one. I know you just did the Master of Evil, but I have not read that book yet, so I
Oh,
do
yeah.
not have any questions pertaining
Okay.
to that aside from, like, what was it like voicing Vader? Yeah, I've heard you do everybody else's voice, but
Right, right.
I've never heard you do Vader.
Oh, cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's fun. It's like, they obviously put some processing on it to help with the helmet sound, but I do have to kinda sit a little straighter and, kinda relax into it. Join me and you will learn the power of the dark side. So I have to kind of like really get low, and sometimes it's hard to do that um back and forth from the narration. So
Yeah.
it's a bit of a process, but it's fun.
Oh my god. That was insane. I was not expecting to get a glimpse of it while recording. That
Yeah.
just made my entire week right
All
there.
right.
I guess going off of like you said it was a process to like going in and out of those voices. Kind of a leeway into my next one. What was like the process like auditioning like when you first started voice acting?
For the Star Wars book specifically, or
Just in general.
yeah, I mean, so much has changed because it was I got started in 1997. And so it was like, it used to be you would go into the studio and meet with a casting director, and they would talk through kind of what they were looking for, and you would give them a read, and then they might give you some feedback, and there was a little back and forth, and obviously you're feeling nervous because you want to make a good impression, and so honestly I kind of miss that part of it because nowadays everything is emails and internet, and you never meet the person unless you book it, you know? So it's like,
Oh.
and you don't really get feedback, and you're kind of just, I hope this is what they want, So, and I feel like if I'm in the room with someone, I can feed off of the notes they give me a little bit better. Like I definitely benefit from direction. So I miss that. But it's so much easier and quicker when you do it over the interwebs and stuff. So I get the pros and cons of both, um, but yeah, it was a different time.
And I guess we could touch on for the Star Wars audiobooks. What's the process for that? Like how? Yeah, I got a couple of buddies that would honestly be up there with you and Jonathan Davis for voice acting in
Oh
Star
wow,
Wars,
that's
and
cool. Yeah. I mean, it's basically like I'll get the book, and obviously I'll read the book, and as I'm reading it, I'm kind of figuring out how do I want to voice these different characters and figuring out who is it that's speaking, um and then if do they appear in any of the other shows or video games or movies, and then do I need to find references for those, and then I try to kind of get as close to them as I can. If there's new characters, then I try to figure out, well, how do I want to voice the new ones, and are they going to sound distinct enough so that you can be very clear on who's speaking when. um and then I'll record little samples of that on my phone. And then when I get in the booth, I'll record and then like play a little bit of the sample for reference and then jump back in. So yeah, it takes a while to get all that lined up and ready. But having it helps the recording go much smoother because then I can kind of just really quickly listen and go. So, but yeah, so it's a bit of a process, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty fun.
a lot more than I would have thought going into. I know that voice actors are gonna obviously be listening to different references, but like when I'm reading a book, like my brain will not let me do it. Like, oh, this person should be sounding like this, or I wonder how this person would sound. It's
Right.
literally just like, hey, uh, words, brain. That's it. There's
Yeah,
no
yeah, yeah.
voices or anything. So
Right.
that's very interesting that you're able to just like, especially with new characters or some people that like we don't have any references for.
Right.
Because like I think his name is Zirid in the Deceived novel. Sounds a little bit like Han.
Uh-huh.
Every time he talks, like I just can't not hear Han
Yeah, yeah.
when he talks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But like there's no other references to that character in any other media.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure he just exists in the book.
Yeah, yeah, I think you might be right, yeah.
It's just I can't believe your vocal range for stuff like that. I mean,
Oh,
like I said, the first time I heard Heir to the Empire, I literally thought that they got Billy D. Williams in there to record Lando's lines.
that's fun,
And my
yeah.
buddy Morgan was like, "No, that's all Mark Thompson." I was like, "Okay." I
That's
thought
cool.
what have we here?
Yeah.
Thought that sounded decent. And
Right.
nope.
Yeah, it's super fun.
So I'm assuming since you've been a fan pretty much since the inception of Star Wars, I'm assuming you've played some of the video games. If you
Oh,
have,
yeah.
what is your favorite video game?
Oh, wow, great question. Uh, um, okay, so I think I'm gonna go with Force Unleashed. Like that one was really cool to play. I played that on the Wii, and that was like really fun because you could like do the gestures for the force powers and everything like that. And the cutscenes and the story was pretty epic to that one. I am playing through Jedi Survivor right now, but I probably would love that one even more, but I get so trapped on the puzzles that I can't get very far. So I'm like, like so just kind of still trucking through. But that one's also really great, and the graphics on that are really great. But I think Force Unleashed, I played it at a time where I could really just spend a huge chunk of time on it, and I remember with the Wii controllers how fun that was, just doing all the saber stuff, and it felt I almost, like, threw my controller into the TV a couple times, but it was, that one felt especially cool. And then, in the arcade, the Star Wars Battle Pod, though I love there was one that, they don't have it in the arcades anymore, but it was like a pod that, like, moved, and you were doing all the X-Wing stuff, like destroying the Death
Oh,
Stars and,
snap.
taking out the AT-ATs and on Hoth, and that way it like, the whole cockpit moved while you're doing it, and it was like a flight simulator, but for an X-Wing, and that was a pretty great game.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't played Jedi Survivor. I have played Fallen Order
Yeah,
and
that's great.
absolutely love those games, except for the Zepho planet.
Oh,
Those puzzles are ridiculous, and
yes,
finding
yes.
your way back to the ship is not it. I'm so glad that they did fast travel and Survivor.
Yeah, yeah, no, I had, it took me, like, a year and a half to finish that game because of Zepho and the like, and I couldn't kill that stupid bog thing, like, and I was like, "What is the deal with this creature?" Like, you know, like, couldn't get under it, and it just kept rolling on me. I was like, "Golly."
Yeah, I think easily I can't pick what my favorite game would have to be. It's always between Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga or the Revenge of the Sith movie game because
I remember that. That was a great game. I love that you played through the film. Like,
yes.
that was awesome. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What's crazy is like that game came out like a couple months before the movie actually came out. And so they're using actual clips of the movie. So
Oh,
if you
wow.
played the game, you saw
Oh,
the movie
wow.
before
Okay.
everybody else.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, that game is fantastic, and I've only beaten it once since I was 8 years old because
Oh,
I keep
wow.
getting stuck on Dooku.
Yeah,
Because that guy is they took him being the best swordsman of his generation and literally applied it to the game because
yeah.
I can't beat that guy.
I want somebody to port it to, like, the iPad or something because I would love to play it now on, like, touchscreen type things, you know?
That would be sick.
But that's a good call. I love that game. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you get the alternate ending and where Anakin's able to kill Obi-Wan and kill
Uh-huh.
Emperor Palpatine, and
Yeah.
bro, it's such a good game. I just
Yeah.
wish that I could get past Dooku so I could finish my second playthrough.
Right, right.
Well, that pretty much does it for all the questions that I had for you. I don't know much about Pokemon, so I
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
said that I'm not asking well, I guess I will. What's that process like? Get doing the creatures for Pokemon.
It's fun. It's like, you basically a lot of times I mean, now we'll audition for a lot of the creatures, but sometimes, and especially when I was starting out, you just happen to be in the booth. Like I started out doing like, the shopkeeper at this region where Ash comes to town and how much for this drink, sir? And that type of stuff. And so, but when you're there for that, they'll then say, okay, now we've got this creature. Do you think you could do the voice for that creature? And I would give it a go. And what's weird about Pokemon is the creatures basically just say their name over and over.
Yeah,
So it's a challenge to figure out how do I say this guy's name in different ways to express fear or anger or joy and so then it becomes kind of a cool Meisner repetition exercise. But yeah, but it's interesting and it's like, it's a little like strange at first. You're like, wait, what? They just say their name, but now it's just kind of you accept it and it's just like, yep, this is happening in this universe. So, but it's really fun, and it's another one where you get to, like, do a wide range of characters and a wide range of voices, so I like it.
all right. Well, who's your favorite Pokemon that you've voiced?
Gengar, he's very fun and mischievous and, giggly and, he's a lot of fun to do, so
Mr. Mark Thompson, thank you for taking the time to come on my small little podcast and just shoot the shit and talk about your experience and just talk about Star Wars. I love being able to build up the community and just being able to interview so many different types of people. I mean, you're the first voice actor that I've interviewed that's like actually active in Star Wars
Oh
still.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Roger Christian, still the biggest milestone. Did not expect to get that interview as easily as I did.
That's great.
Everybody that I've interviewed within the Star Wars community, from actors to voice actors to prop makers to just people like me, just content creators, everybody has been amazing. And thank you.
Oh yeah, no problem. Thank you. I appreciate it.
But the last question I always ask our guest is: are there any tips or words of wisdom for the people watching at home?
Ooh, getting deep now. I think one of the ones that's helped me is just to kind of go the extra mile, like kind of do your best at whatever level project you happen to be working on. Like, don't wait to do your best work until it's like this profile project. Like, do your best on the small things. And how you are with the small things will be how you'll be with the big things. And a lot of times, if you're striving for excellence in the small things, then you can be trusted with the bigger things. So I think that's some good things that's something that really helped me and still helps me today. So
I like that. I really do. I'm always blown away by the first answers to my questions and the last one, because the how people got into Star Wars and then their words of wisdoms or tips, just I don't know. It does something for me. It makes me happy, and I try to follow everybody's words of wisdom that I've ever had on this podcast, and it always helps. And that one, I definitely think will help a lot of different people, because I know there's plenty of people out there that do that. They wait until, like, all right, I want this to be a high profile project. It's like,
right,
all right,
right.
why not do your best in the first stage of it first, brother?
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But again, thank you for coming on. Thank you. Just thank you. Yeah, I like I said when we first popped on, I'm a little starstruck, a little nervous, because you are, like I said, you and Jonathan Davis, easily some of my favorite voice actors, and I can't pick between the two.
Oh, wow. Well, that's high praise because he's pretty awesome. So thank you.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of Tales from Peridia. Go follow Mark on Instagram. Oh, actually, I didn't have you say what socials can we find you on?
Oh
Sorry.
yeah. I'm on pretty much everything. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, X, Blue Sky. I have slightly different names. I think my Instagram, I'm looking it up right now, is Mark Thompson _VO _Captain Ehud. And then I think on X I'm Captain Ehud, and on Facebook I'm just Mark Thompson. So in Blue Sky I think I'm Mark Thompson VO or something. It's too complicated to change them, and I don't. So you'll find me. So
Well, don't worry. All the links will be down in the description for everybody watching. Make sure to go follow Mark Thompson. Make sure to check out some Star Wars books on Audible that he has voiced. You will not be disappointed whatsoever. You might even be like me and listen to Heir to the Empire for the first time and be like, this is crazy. We need to get this in live action.
yeah,
And they definitely brought Billy D. Williams in, but then it'll blow your mind that it was not Billy D. Williams.
yeah.
But again, thank you, and may the force be with you always. Peace.